Are you buying your first home in the state of Minnesota? Have you considered Shoreview, Minnesota? They've got the Shoreview Down Payment Assistance Program that you've really got to check out. We're going to talk about how the city of Shoreview is offering you $20,000 to $30,000 as down payment assistance loans to buy in their fair city. I'm Peter Lindquist with the Lindquist team. Thanks for joining me today. If you like today's video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. That's free for you to do, but it means an awful lot to me. Certainly, feel free to subscribe. We talk a lot about real estate in Minnesota. And then if you've got any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below. And with that, let's go ahead and get started. The Shoreview Down Payment Assistance programs are really some of the most liberal and best programs in the Twin Cities area. They have two versions. One is for $20,000, one is for $30,000. The difference between the two really can be defined as the maximum household income limits. So each of these down payment assistance programs are needs based, and so they have maximum income levels. If you earn too much, you don't qualify for the program. In the case of Shoreview, they've got two levels of down payment assistance, one at $20,000, one at $30,000. So what's the difference? At $20,000, that loan is a 0% interest, zero monthly payment program. So people say, what does that mean? Why even make it a loan? Well, you do have to pay it off eventually. You pay it off either when you sell the house, when you refinance it, or if you vacate the house and rent it out. Under those circumstances, you would pay for it. But otherwise, it just sits there and it does not eat up monthly payment on your budget. People will say, well, can I pay it early? Yeah, sure, but it's 0% interest, so why would you want to? So that is a great program, but is more limited in terms of its maximum income limits. I'll put them up here, but you'll see that it's by household size. So one family household is a bit over 72,000, two-person household a little over 83,000, and on upwards. Okay, so that is the $20,000 program. Then the $30,000 program is much more liberal when it comes to income limits. For example, one person in the house is 111,000, two people in the house 127,000, and on upwards. So much easier to qualify for that from an maximum income level. The difference with that program is that it's interest only. So there is an interest rate. It's a low interest rate, and it does accrue on the loan, and you will pay that back. But the other side of it is that it's $30,000, which is more than $20,000. So some buyers actually opt for it just because of being able to get more money from it. These programs are loans. They're not grants, and they're not forgivable. So I want you to be aware of that. If you borrow the money, you're going to eventually pay it back. They are stackable. And what I mean by that is that if you coordinate it with a loan from the Minnesota Housing Finance Agency, otherwise known as MHFA, they've got programs that, at least as I record this video in 2025, they've got loans that are up to $14,000 for down payment assistance. So when you combine the state of Minnesota loan with the city of Shoreview loan, you get anywhere from $34,000 to $44,000 as down payment assistance. Think of that. On a $400,000 loan, that's 10% of the purchase price. And so it can really have an impact on your monthly payment. It can have an impact as to whether or not you're paying mortgage insurance. And if so, and even if you do, that you pay it a lower amount because you've got more as a down payment. Okay, so who qualifies? First of all, you have to be a first-time home buyer. Let's be clear about what that means, though. The definition of a first-time home buyer is that you haven't owned and occupied a principal residence within the last 3 years. So if you owned a house 10 years ago and sold it more than 3 years ago, you're a first-time home buyer again. Okay, so that's the magic of becoming the state of Minnesota in these programs. You can combine this with seller-paid closing costs, which sometimes you need to. up to 3% of the purchase price. And they've got a maximum debt to income ratio of 50%. So that goes along with Minnesota Housing Finance Agency, but they don't want you to be getting into too much debt in order to handle these programs. They want to make sure that you're successful as a homeowner. But otherwise, that's the basics of what it takes to qualify. So now how do you apply for it? Well, you don't go directly to the city of Shoreview, for example. You're going to get it through your mortgage lender, and the mortgage lender has to offer the program. So not all lenders do. We do. I'm proud to say it. But you have to work with a lender who is approved to work with that program. In addition to that, you have to work with the same lender on your first mortgage as you do with your down payment assistance. I've had people call me and they say, I'm getting my loan through XYZ company and I want to get my down payment assistance through you. And I'm sorry, but you can't do that. If you want to get down payment assistance through me, you have to do your first mortgage through me. That's program requirements. So if you want to work with down payment assistance, it's important that you're working with a lender early on before you are too deep in the process. You want to be sure you're working with a lender who can actually issue these programs for you. Now, an important thing for you to know is that this is not a program that is set up for a rapid close, 3 weeks from purchase agreement to closing, because there's actually two methods of underwriting that it has to go through. It goes through our own mortgage underwriting, and then after we're done and we are clear to close on our end of things, we send it to the administrators of the program for Shoreview, and then they have to underwrite it. So I would say a minimum of 5 weeks and ideally 6 weeks from purchase agreement to closing in order to access this program. It takes some planning, and it takes you working with a realtor and a seller who understand what the process is here. But as long as you're doing that, then this can be an excellent program for you to access. Hey, thanks for taking the time to listen to me today. If you're interested in buying a home in Shoreview, Minnesota, be sure to check out the Shoreview Down Payment Assistance Program. If you got questions or comments, leave them in the comments below or reach out to me directly. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for taking the time today.